Tristan Peterson here for Seems Good Magic. About to go into a standard daily at 9 a.m. Just about to join right now. I'm going to be taking a Reanimator deck into this daily. This is the first time I've taken a Reanimator deck into a daily since M14 has come out. Here's the deck that I'm going to be playing today. Obviously, as has been noted by some prominent writers about Magic Online, there's a Scavenging Ooze has hit the format. So is Reanimator still a viable format or a viable deck in the format? Different people have different opinions. A lot of the guys at my local shop tend to say no. I think I'm on the fence. A couple articles here before we do a deck tech. BBD, he played it at the Standard Open this past weekend. Did fairly well with it. He kind of talks about this was his build. My build's a little bit different, though I could opt into this if I wanted to. But he talks about it here. This guy, I can never pronounce his name. He's talking about metagaming against Jund, which is probably the prominent deck in the format right now, having won both the Invitational and the last Open and getting second at the previous Open after M14 had hit the format. He lists some things here. He picks Reanimator as a decent choice against Jund. I'll kind of talk about some of my choices going into it. He also says Red-Green Aggro was a good choice against Jund. Mono-Red mid-range, good choice against Jund, particularly Burning Earth. GB Ooze, which this deck is intriguing to me. I've wanted to play a Tragic Ooze or Predator Ooze for quite a while. I think it still is pretty good. Where it fits best, I don't know. Obviously, this Elves deck from last weekend that Huey Jensen was playing, I don't know if it fits in there. He's more ramping in big stuff. So I guess that's the question today. We'll find out. Is Reanimator still viable in the current format? So here's kind of my deck list. Sticking with Three Angels Serenity. Just in some testing and some games. Just some prep games and 2 tickets and different things. Still feel that's the right number. Can be devastating against any mid-range deck. Devastating against Jund if you can land it and I can't remove it. 4 Embarrass Rites, 4 Restoration Angels, and the Thragtusk package is pretty good. So basically here is my main board hate for Scavenging Ooze. Basically I've got 7 cards in the main deck that are to deal with a turn 2 Ooze or a late game Ooze, something that doesn't just completely kill my graveyard. This also helps in the aggro matchups, I've found, having all this early removal. Putrefy, I've got 1 Sever in the board, and maybe I should have another Sever in the main. It's just Putrefy's quicker. The fact that it can destroy target artifact or creature, and it can't be regenerated, so it's versatile there. Not a whole lot of artifacts being played, but you never know what you're going to run into. So it's versatile, much better than Murder. I think it's better than Doomblade. If I'm going to play Doomblade, I should just be playing Abrupt Decay. Unless I'm playing 4 Abrupt Decays and then I need another Doomblade. The fact that green is the most prominent color in my mana base, pretty likely that if I'm going to have black out, I'm going to have green out. So I don't know why you'd play Doomblade in a Reanimator list in the main deck. Abrupt Decays, 2 Fiend Hunters, 2 Putrefys. 4 Embarrass Rites. I'm sticking with 6 Mana Dorks. I may need to change this. I haven't picked up Mystics yet online. I could probably maybe go up to 7 and go like 3 Pilgrims, 2 Arbor Elves, 2 Elvish Mystics. But today for this daily, we're just going to play the 4 Pilgrims and the 2 Arbor Elves. Still need to experiment with that some and probably need to pick up those Mystics online. 4 Grizzly Salvage. Really like this card. When I see it in my opening hand, it's almost just a snap keep just because I see so many cards and get to pick what I need. It'd be interesting to see after rotation when we lose Embarrass Rites if Grizzly Salvage is still a playable card. I think with Virals and maybe Lotleth Troll and some other different things, just playing a heavy creature build and running 4 of both of those guys, I think Grizzly Salvage could still be playable, particularly if you're running, like Desecration Demon. It'd be interesting to see what Theros gives us. I think the demon out of M14 which is also sometimes in this list now. I haven't picked up any online. I think he could fit in a Baral's Lotless Troll Grizzly Salvage deck. Something I've been thinking about. I'm running 3 mulches. Some people have gone down to 2. I like mulch. It works really well with Angel Serenity, and it also works well in Mana Fix. I've got 1 Garrick in the main. That's something that may change to 2 Garricks. I've got 1 in the board, 1 in the main. So we'll see on that one. I'm nil. These are some of the questionable things that I need to look at if I decide to play this at SCG Minneapolis this weekend. Mana Elves, Garrick in the main, Putrefy over Sever. These are some of the questions I'm asking right now. 4th Rite Tusk, I'm pretty confident there. I don't think I'd ever change that, sticking with the 4 Restoration Angels. One thing I am hesitant on is I've gone down to 1 slime, at least for this daily. In testing control, while I don't think control is dead, definitely not as prominent now as it used to be, which is where Acidic Slime shines, against the red, white, blue decks, the blue, white decks, the Bant decks, any type of controlling type deck where they want to consistently hit land drops, and then Sphinx's Revelation and different things like that. It also, keeping them off of 7 to 8 land if they're running Aetherling is very important. So this may change too. I maybe need to go to 2 Acidic Slimes. In testing so far, I've only played 1 game against Jun, which I lost online. The deck didn't treat me as well as it could have. I was able to deal with Ooze, but I just tended to flood out both the games that I played. So that's kind of the main deck. Sticking with 1 Vault, 2 Forests, pretty much the same mana base that I have been running in the other streams that I've done. 4 Woodlands, 4 Overgrowns, 1 Isolated Chapel, 2 Godless Shrines, 4 Temple Gardens, 3 Sun Petals, and then 2 Caverns. This mana base needs to change, particularly with Fiend Hunter. I haven't found it too difficult yet to cast Fiend Hunter. I may need to go up to 1 more Godless Shrine or 1 more Isolated Chapel. I think keeping the 3 Sun Petals is correct. It's then possibly cutting like a Woodland Cemetery just for an additional white source, or possibly cutting Cavern. I mean, if control isn't relevant, and I guess I'm not expecting control, then maybe Cavern can go all together. Sideboard, still up in the air on some stuff. We're pretty similar to the old sideboard we used to run before M14. 2 Sin Collectors, which is pretty good against control again. They pretty much only come in that matchup. Golgari Charm, Enchantment Hate for Bant Hexproof, also really good against Aristocrats, which is why Curse of Death's Hold is here. Garrick in the board, Centaur Healers, and Tristanis for aggro matches. So that's one thing we're different on from before. Rather than main decking life gain and blockers for aggro, now we're main decking removal for Scavenging Ooze, which also doubles against the aggro. Sylvan Primordial, one of my favorite cards. 2 Acidic Slimes also for that mana denial plan. I still really like Sylvan Primordial as kind of the 4th slime. A lot of times you can get slaughter games on slime. They'll name slime depending on what they're doing, and you can still have the Primordial as a backup. Sever pretty much only comes in against Jund, maybe in the aggro matchups. I'm still kind of relearning this board with this new build. Obviously good against Olivia. I've still got 2 Slum Reapers in here against Bant Hexproof, which is the test game I just played before going into this daily. They are running more creature counts, so I just like having some out to Invisible Stalker and Geist of St. Traft. If I don't have that, I don't have any other outs. It's not like I can really afford to run Olivia. I mean, afford to run Liliana or afford to run like Barter and Blood. It's performed for me in the past. We'll see if we face that matchup today and how it performs today. 1 Ray of Revelation. This may need to go to 2 Rays of Revelation, particularly if we're planning to see Burning Earth. I'm bringing it in against the mono red decks now as a board card, where I never did that in the past, only for Burning Earth. They can have a devastating draw where they pressure you and then say I remove all their guys, and then they drop Burning Earth. All of a sudden when I cast Thragtusk, I'm gaining 1 life or no life. depending on if I have one of my 2 basic forests out. So this may need to change if we continue to opt into this kind of build for this weekend. I'm going to pause it here and we'll go into the daily here in a minute. Okay, we're back. Here's round 1. I am playing a Mott 0. My hand, not bad, not great either. I'll probably keep this just because I have a turn 3 Garrett potentially if I hit a land. I also have the forest and the buddy, so I think I can probably keep this. But before we make any decisions, let's do a little scouting, as is our normal routine. So let's pull that up. Obviously, this is a big change. It's kind of what I've been up to. I went to GP Kansas City back in July, so I played a decent amount of Modern and prepping for that. Didn't do so hot down there. I died in round 8. Playing against Brian DeMars, who was playing Mirror. I was playing Affinity. He just really had better draws. I probably should have mulliganed one of the games, but so it goes. Still was a good time. Me and a couple guys from the local shop went down there and played. So let's see here. Other than that, I've been working a lot. I haven't played a lot of Moto online. I've really only played like 1 daily recently, and that was like a week ago before M14 hit the format. So kind of wanted this to hit the format and learn things. So I'm not going to mulligan. I'm going to keep it, mainly on the fact that I have 1, 2, 3, 4. Great. Well, so it goes. Still, this is not a terrible hand, the fact that I have Thrag Tusk, Blink Thrag Tusk. I mean, I've got the turn 2 Fiend Hunter now, which is pretty good if my guy lives. So I just need to hit land drops. I mean, this is red-green aggro, which can be a difficult matchup. We'll see if he kills my dork. Nope. Maybe he'll kill it after combat. We'll see. If I can hit a land in the next 2 turns and my dork survives, actually not in terrible shape because I got boar. Okay, so so that's good. So now I can go. Basically, my choices here are I can go Fiend Hunter, Noble, Fiend Hunter, Boar. The Noble gets to 3/3 next turn, which then means my Garrett dies when I fight him. So I think I go Fiend Hunter, Noble, dropping the Sun Petal Grove, and then next turn I just poop out dudes. Hopefully finding a 5th or 4th land so that I can get into Thrag Tusk, Restoration Angels. We're going to go like this. The other option is I can blink my Fiend Hunter mid-combat maybe. If I don't drop Garrick, that way then I can take the boar and put the Noble back on 1, drop Garrick, and then fight the Noble, which is probably actually not a bad game plan. So he's going to beat in, take me to 16. See if he's got the removal. I just got another board. So we're going to drop. We're going to try to get tricky on him. We'll see what he does. Because I can block, blink, take the other one. Prevent the damage then, and then drop Garrick or Thrag Tusk if I hit a land. That way I'm sitting at 14, potentially going to Tusk, Blink Tusk, Umbrella Rites Tusk. Just need to hit that. That next land is going to be the big key. So we're going to pillar. So I'm going to do this. I think this is the right play. I'm going to save my mana dork. Not as tricky as I'd like to be, but I need that mana dork to be able to hit Tusk reliably next turn. This also throws up a blocker for the Flint Hoof. So we'll see what he wants to do here. So we're going to continue to beat in. I'm going to block 1. He might have a post-combat pillar. If he does, he does. Otherwise, I am doing okay. Yep, that's fine. So we're running them out of land. This is kind of always been my main way of attacking, is run them out of land as much as possible. So now we're presented with an interesting decision. We can go Arbor Elf. We can go Garrick, remove the dude, which is probably the best play. That way it's just gone. Or we can get tricky and try to do the tricky combat thing, put the boar underneath here. I think we just go Garrick, remove the dude. We just make Garrick a 4-mana lightning bolt. It's probably the best play because then he has to top deck. He wasted 2 pillars that turn. Maybe he doesn't have the broken burning tree draw. Maybe he has Boral Shrikener. But I just need to be able to get to Tusk. So we're gonna go Garrick. I mean, the other thing is I can make a wolf and just chump all day long. But I think we just want to fight it and get rid of it. That way he's got an empty board, and we are in range of Thragtusk. 1 land, we hit Thragtusk. Otherwise, we go Arbor Elf, Thragtusk. So we got another Strongheart Noble, yeah. So he's drawn dead now. So now I just go land, yes, and then I go do. So feeling pretty good how this progressed out. 14, I can block the Noble. If he does Rampage, I still Unbearer Rites next turn. Maybe he Lightning Bolts my Fiend Hunter to get his Strongheart back. So yeah, we're in pretty good shape. So yeah, we are in very, very good shape. So we're gonna swing in and see what he does. Because I have the Arbor Elf backdrop. So he is gonna Searing Spear, which means then I Restoration Angel and blink. Yeah, he knows he can't come back from that. So feel really good. We got the first game there. The red-green list, I'm not sure if they've, because there are 2 colors, the question mark is, do we bring this in for Burning Earth or not? We're going to go with pretty much our standard game plan. Bring in a ton of removal, remove the acidic slimes. So basically we bring in some life gain, we keep all this removal. If we see Burning Earth, we still, we have no out to Burning Earth this way, but I guess we're just going to take that risk if this red-green list is running it. I mean, that's kind of something that's potentially in the board for these people. Potentially not. It's how much we want to play around it. The fact that he's on the play may mean we should bring it in, but we're going to try to play around it at this point. And just hopefully he doesn't have it.
If we see Burning Earth, then we definitely bring in Ray next turn. Possibly Golgari Charm too. Because Golgari Charm kills Lightning Mauler, it kills the Fire Fist Striker, it kills a Noble before it's done any damage. So I'd rather see a Cackler turn 1 than a Noble, because I can know Cackler's always going to be 2 damage. So we're going to go here. There's no reason for me to mulch next turn because I'm hitting land drops, so I probably just throw out the Arbor Elf. That way I can go the next turn I can fight if need be. As long as I'm hitting land drops, you know, there's no reason for me to mulch. I would not be able to go Garruk next turn because I can't untap the Woodland Cemetery, but I do have a guaranteed Centaur Healer, so, which is nice. This hand's shaping up to be pretty good. I mean, I've got Fiend Hunter, Centaur Healer, Abrupt Decay, and Garruk. So I think I just leave this here now. We go that, see what he does. My guess is he's holding some burn. I got another Fiend Hunter. So rather than pressing the issue life-wise right now, I think I'm gonna try to bait him into killing my Fiend Hunter. That way, Centaur Healer sticks. It has bigger power, can block a whole lot more. I could have attacked there, but you never know. They might have the Burning Tree Lightning Mauler, and then you can hold off that. So, well, he does have Burning Earth, so. So, little lesson learned there. We need to be bringing in, because now I'm going to take damage, so my Centaur Healer just gets negated, basically. So, lesson learned. We need to bring in Ray here, possibly Golgari Charm 2. We'll do that if there is a game 3. Yeah, he takes ones there for that. So he's going to drop a Gore Clan, so. And a Noble, so we're fine. We're fine with both of those. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to drop my second Fiend Hunter and go down to 13. We'll take the Gore Clan. Feed in like that. We're racing the Burning Earth right now. That's the question. So we'll just trade with the Arbor Elf. If he's got a Gore Clan, he's got a Gore Clan. I can handle that. We're racing Burning Earth. He's got nothing on the battlefield. Did hit a strike test. So at this point, I'm probably actually not going to attack because I risk swinging into basically losing my Fiend Hunters. So we're gonna take 2 damage and mulch. Yep. Yeah, his Fire Fist Striker, Stomping Ground. So he's got 1 card in hand. We're feeling okay here. I mean, I can blink my Centaur Healer, gain 3. I think we just hold off this attack.
Double Fire Fist Striker draw. Okay. Still doing okay. We won't shock because it's pretty frivolous for us to shock. And we're going to take 5 to cast anything relevant. Okay, so that's kind of annoying. We're going to get 2 triggers on the Fire Fist Strikers. Or I could just Abrupt Decay pre-combat, which is probably the right call, to be honest. We'll Abrupt Decay there, pre-combat. Green. Black. That way we can't get any Fire Fist Striker triggers. We just go to 9 to do it. So here's where Burning Earth really plays, because normally this is where I just win the game, but I'm going to lose 5 and then gain 5. But I'm building quite the field, so that's what's important. Cackler. So I think the deck is no longer running Skullcrack, is my guess. If they are, then I'm just hosed. Otherwise, I'm basically netting 1 gain of life here. So at this point, I'm going to crack in for what will appear to be lethal. 5, 5, 9. I'm swinging for 14. Because I have the Restoration Angel backup. And I have the Unburial Rites backup. For him to effectively do anything, he's got to do some blocking. Okay. So we're okay with all of that happening. We're going to do that there. So Hellrider potentially kills me next turn. He's got to have 2 Hellriders though. So I think at this point we probably just Unburial Rites the Thragtusk. Obviously he didn't have the Skullcrack before, so we're going to put more pressure out there. Yep. He's got double Searing Spear, he's got double Searing Spear. Yeah, so we're just going to stay at 10. Yes, so we got there. I'm playing through Burning Earth. Still that card gave him a lot of reach. Had he not had that reach, I probably would have just demolished him a few turns previous. But we did get there. So game 1 of this daily we got. So we're going to stop. We'll be back for round 2 in a minute.